Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Breakfast Daily. And now it's time for us to get into the conversation of the day before we open the phone lines. And, well, it's still going to be about the Green Ghana project.
Yeah.
And reading from the Informer, the big one here, Ghanaians say no to tree planting, demand accountability first. And like we were talking about before, we see the trees. I mean, we see them planting, but we don't see the trees.
Yeah.
And
let's hear the story.
Yeah, let's hear the story.
And then we can...
Right, so angry Ghanaians have roundly rejected this year's scheduled tree planting exercise in the name of Green Ghana project. The rejection was a function of lack of accountability and the way and manner in which the nation's meager resources were being dissipated regarding the exercise. And according to worried and angry Ghanaians, it is most regrettable to say that the state of about 30 million trees planted in the name of Green Ghana project cannot be established. A number of concerned Ghanaians have called the offices of the Informer newspaper, expressed strong disquiet and rage, and demanded immediate accountability by way of audit of the tree planting exercise in order for them to give their blessing to the current year exercise. Trees are not abstract. They are tangible objects, and so we demand to see those that have been planted so far, a certain Owusu Mensah told the Informer in an interview. According to him, given the serious economic crisis that the country finds itself, it would be unwise on anybody's part to commit an amount of 2.5 million Ghana cedis demanded by the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry for the project at the time statutory payment in arrears, and school feeding caterers are unpaid. I kind of understand that, but let's keep going. We must learn to set our priorities right. No one is against the initiative, but is this what we need at this time? Worried Owusu quizzed. To this end, he appealed to President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo to step in and halt the exercise intended to be carried in June, given the exigencies of the time. 2023 Green Ghana project. The rejection of this exercise was in reference to revelations made by the Deputy Minister for the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Benito Owusu-Bio, who doubles as chairman of the 2023 Green Ghana project, when he spoke in an interview with Accra-based Citi FM. According to him, the 2.5 million Ghana cedis earmarked for the exercise this year is woefully inadequate, and the government will require the assistance of private sector to be able to hit the target of planting 10 million trees.
So basically what he's saying is that, so even though we see that the amount proposed to be spent on tree planting has dropped, it's more about what the finance ministry has made available
for them
for the project, and so that's what he's saying, that it's not adequate. Now, the question that we want to ask is this project an important one or not? Now, for me, right, it's about understanding the purpose and the function of trees. Okay, that's the important thing. Now, in a certain sense, in Ghana, we are spoiled for choice, right? And so because we are spoiled, look, if you lived in a country where if you didn't get up, let's say, at the crack of dawn to go to work for 15 hours, you would literally die of starvation, right? We would behave differently. Let me give you an example. There are countries like Israel. Israel is completely desert, right?
Right.
And then they've used techniques like hydroponics, which is planting plants in water, growing plants in water, not soil, water, right? And they're successfully growing tomatoes in water without soil. Okay, think about what that means. What innovation and what ingenuity brings that about, right? Then you also have places with extreme temperatures, right? So there are places where, for example, in certain parts of the year, certain times of the year, by 3 p.m., it's already nightfall.
Right. True.
By 3 p.m., it's already night.
Yeah.
Other times of the year, by 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., it's still bright like it's morning. Do you see? And somehow, because we find ourselves in this environment that seems to have the most ideal of everything, temperature, water, pressure, climate, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. We don't have extremes of anything.
Yeah.
We take things for granted and we are spoiled for choice. And so we ruin our resources, not understanding what the backlash is going to be. So the question we're asking today is, the tree planting, from where you sit, from what you understand about trees and the importance of trees, should we plant trees this year or not? That's the question that we're asking. Yeah?
Right. Don't you think it also has to do with ignorance and lack of education?
As in, whether we understand it or not,
Yes.
and whether we are applying ourselves to it or not.
Yes.
Well, there's that. But I also think that regarding the press release that we read, there's also the question about the ones we planted already.
That's
where are those trees?
Yes, it's like nobody's held accountable for that,
Yeah.
and that's why people
Where
are
are
angry.
those trees?
We
Show us those trees.
Yeah, I kind of understand the frustration of the people because I feel the same way. Trees are important,
Yeah.
very, very important. Yeah. But what happened to the old trees? Are they even growing? You know, I asked you here last time that do we see them growing?
Yeah. And then when we have this culture also where when there's a major road going to be constructed, we clear all trees. The
Thank
tree
you.
is the tree is
Thank
150
you.
years old. The tree is 200 years old. They will clear all the trees to build a road. It shows how our mind works, what we consider important. Now, when you go to advanced countries, right? And I'll use this example. When you go to advanced countries, the wealthier you are, the more greens you have around you. In Ghana, the wealthier you are, the more you push away the greens and concretize your environment. That's...
No, you see...
Tell me I'm wrong.
It's true. It's true, but you see, that also goes to the education. They don't even understand that the green...
It's a culture.
You know, and the green... because they don't understand that the green actually gives you better air quality.
Yes.
They don't understand that.
Yes.
Because recently a friend of mine got very ill and she stayed in the hospital for long. It actually broke her down.
Yeah.
And it had to do with, you know, the quality of air that she's breathing in Ghana here.
Yeah.
So what she did was that she started like planting. She started buying plants around her environment that she stays a lot, and which is home basically. Her house is full of plants.
Yeah.
And that is helping with the quality of air that she's breathing. She's better now. She said she's never felt better.
Look, let me tell you, if you even want to test it, all you have to do is to drive to Ebri and the Equapim range. You will notice as soon as you get into that space that the quality of air is different. The quality of air is different there from Accra.
Right.
So the question is, should we plant trees or not? Right?
We should.
Now, if we're going to plant trees, then we have to be accountable.
Yes.
What are people, you know, the ministry that has been doing this, where are the trees? We need proof. We need to see them. Because you see, when you go to places like the Gifford Road, 37 area, Birmingham area, and all the rest.
Yes,
We're asking ourselves, the trees that were planted,
Yeah.
many of them have died.
Exactly.
You know, and so what's the accountability? We can't just keep demanding for money without showing proof. But at the same time, I think that the idea of planting trees once a year, where we just take one day, we plant all the trees we can plant, and then walk
wait.
away
Yes.
and wait for another year.
And then wait for another
That's
year.
not the way to do it.
Yeah, that's not the way to do it.
The way to do it is to start from primary school and teach kids about the importance of trees and encourage kids. Because you see, everybody can plant a tree a year, right? And say, in my home, I'll plant in January, every January.
Right.
I'm going to plant a tree
Right,
every January.
right.
And I'm dedicating myself to planting it. Or plant a tree on your birthday. How about that?
That makes sense.
Do you understand?
That makes
So that every point in time, there are trees being planted. And if we build this as a culture from the children, in 20 years' time, this problem would have been solved. You don't have to have a day where now we're asking questions. Where did the money go? How has the money been spent?
Where are the trees?
If you say
Yeah.
you took 2.5, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, whatever, to plant trees, how come the people who are seedling producers have not been paid? How was that money spent? Do you get it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the question. So what do you think? Give us a call. Share with us. What do you think? How has the money been spent? Should we plant trees? Should we forget it? Should we focus on other things for now? Or should we continue doing things as we've been doing because maybe it will work? I don't know.
Okay, I have an idea.
Okay.
Obviously, we are now talking about the importance of trees, and people are angry at the government right now and
Yeah.
say, halt this, this project that you're trying to do. So is this not the best time to actually educate people to plant trees? Okay, you don't want the government to do it, but you should do it.
but you
Take
know-
it up to your, take
but-
it up and do it as a
Yes,
project.
Yes. But you see, the thing is that if we don't inculcate it into our children, which for me is the focus, I think that, yes, we can talk generally, but I think that in terms of nation planning, nation building, we need to focus on futuristic things at the same time as we're solving problems now, right? So yes, as much as we are saying plant trees now, we want to build it into the system so that it becomes cultural, all
Right,
right?
okay.
Well, we have Daniel from Adenta. Daniel, good morning. Hello,
Sir,
Daniel.
I'm here.
Yes, talk to us. What do you think?
Well, I just wanted to contribute to your program,
Okay.
and I think tree planting is very important, right? However, I think we have a very poor culture of country. I mean, you see that not only with the tree planting, where it's planted and nobody takes care of it. Up a new hospital and nobody takes care of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we all celebrate the new thing, but then we forget that we need to maintain it, you know? So I think until we work on that culture of maintenance, we're not going to get far, you know? I mean, you were even talking about going up to the Brie Mountains. If
Yeah.
you look up a Brie, we used to love the green, right? But
Yeah.
now it's turned into a concrete jungle.
Yeah.
So in a few years, those places the air quality there is just going to change, you
Yeah.
know? So we don't have any policy saying that, yeah, you can build up the hill, but make sure you maintain certain number of trees,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's a big challenge, you know? But we don't have to give up. I think we can just need to keep doing the work that you guys are doing. And then, like you said, educating the kids also will be
Yeah.
a great thing
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, Daniel,
Thank you.
We really thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you
very
so
much for your
much.
time. Yeah, it's very important. You see, one of the things is, and I made mention of the fact that it's a cultural problem. Let me explain. In Ghana, we have a term called villager,
Right.
right?
Right.
Nobody wants to be addressed as a villager. It's like, let's say it in Tree, Uyo Okrasini.
Okrasini, yeah.
Nobody wants to be addressed as Okrasini. Now, when you go to the village, what do you see? You see things that are natural, natural, right? So trees, grasses,
yeah.
whether they are kempt or unkempt, it's the state of nature. So because we are all moving away from the
The village lifestyle.
mindset,
Yeah.
lifestyle, appearance, and everything else. We feel as if you are wealthy, you shouldn't appear to still be a village.
Right, okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Sorry, we actually have Farouk from Tamale joining us. Hello, Farouk, how are you?
I'm fine. But I
Yes.
want to contribute to the program.
Okay, sure, you can.
Yeah. Looking at the landscape of our country, especially those of us in the north, I have traveled to Burkina Faso. You can see that forestation is fast approaching, especially those of us from the north. I remember not quite long ago, this very present government made a planting for food distance. They plant some trees, but it was during dry season. The approach was very wrong because it was just during dry season that they did. I remember in Indians there about Rolling instructed everyone, if you are having a compound house, make sure that you plant a tree. So I think the education should be started from schools. If those of us are not able to take this approach, maybe the young ones that are coming, they see how important the trees are. As a saying goes, when the last tree died, the last man died.
The last man dies.
Yeah. Farouk, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Farouk.
Yeah. So
I like how
you
he
hear what
ended
said.
it. Yeah.
When the last tree dies, the last man dies.
dies.
What does that even mean? It means that as trees are dying, we are dying.
We're dying.
Because when the last tree dies, the last man too is gone. Now, watch what's happening in the Sahara Desert. Coming down towards Ghana. Trees are depleting. This is what is causing desertification. It is what is causing rise in temperature.
Sure.
If you look across the country, the warmest, hottest, most challenging climatically are the areas where there are least trees.
The Sahel, basically. Yeah.
Okay, so no, I'm even talking about Ghana. As you go from the south towards the north, it's the areas that have less trees that are climatically most challenging. All right. We have a caller from Kumasi. Good morning. Hello?
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please?
Christian.
Christian, yes. What do you think?
Yeah, your topic is really interesting. Like, why would a person break down a tree which has lived for 45 years just to erect a wall? And after erecting the wall, they don't even replant them.
Yeah.
So when you come to our house at Sakumona Estate, about 20 houses around us, they don't have any tree. So our only tree, when you step out of the house, you see people making call under it. What if we have brought down our own tree? Would people have gotten a place to stand to make a call, as in getting a shade?
Yeah.
So tree is an essential thing that we should be fighting for, but it's unfortunate we are destroying our land and in seek of money.
Yeah.
Now our air is being polluted. We don't get the oxygen that we used to get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The kind of oxygen we get now is the air-conditioned one, artificial air. And is that okay?
Recycled air.
Yes, and that is not even okay for our health.
Yeah.
So I think we have to encourage each and everyone to get a tree, at least if not any tree at all, a fruit, a mango tree, coconut, so that at least it will benefit you in other ways. So I'm glad, that's always I love Citi TV and Citi FM. You always bring interesting and vibrant issues. So this is my submission this morning. We don't have to cut down a tree to erect a wall.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Christian. We appreciate it. Now, so you see, Christian brings a very interesting angle to it. So we can say we are planting trees, but let's also add to the conversation planting trees that are economically also viable, right? So now, if the tree produces, let's say, pear, then you benefit from the avocado, and you benefit from the greenery of the first of all. So, look, psychiatrists and psychologists always encourage that when you have mental challenges like stress and and all of that, one of the things that helps and eases stress is greenery.
Right.
Go into green spaces,
Sure.
right? Sit under the tree, sit in the park, take a book, listen to music in the green
Walk on
environment.
the grass,
Walk on the
yeah.
grass.
Yeah,
You see,
true.
it may seem, when you talk to psychologists and you talk to psychiatrists, you realize that this is one of the things that heals us mentally, right? So there's that.
Right. So we actually have a caller from Tamale. Hello.
Yes.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Thank you for joining the conversation.
My name is Ibrahim.
All right. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah, I also want to contribute into the program.
Sure, you can.
Yes. Yeah, your conversation is very good. But the fact is being that let's put this blame into the government.
Okay.
They are the main causes of all these problems we are facing on.
How? Tell us.
You know why?
Tell us, please.
The politicians make we the youth to understand that the politicians are not scammers.
Okay.
Because they always promise us, if I come to power, this is what I'm going to do. And when they come to power, they look for money to put inside their pocket. What are these practical left? When you are looking at all the sections, they give recruitment for people to come in. But when you are looking at the authority commission, what are they doing for that? You see that the authority commission side, they die. When you go to Upper East, you see that Cheko has not turned into a business. When people are doing it, when you plant a tree, you go and clean it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So many Cheko. Understand? When you go to the housing sector, even when you go to council side, that is the failure. What are you talking about that particular person? The most important thing I want to use this platform and discuss this issue. They brought these people to Talisi. They have hijacked everything. Even with the youth in the area. And the youth, they are killing them. When they catch you, they just carry you with a gun. People who are from outside, they are not killing we, the people in the city. When they go to the Parliament house, they're going to give them their money. The regional minister is having a problem with one of our brothers, which they have hijacked the company, give it to the people of the Chinese people. What is left? They are there for the money. The people who are there to fight for the guarantee, they are the same people who are looking for money. Even the president himself that they are accusing, that is also part of it. The guarantee. That is why we are also, do you think if they sack me, you have to go back to the house and die? I would rather go to the bush, burn the tree, also turn it into something that will also
Benefit you, yeah.
Wow.
All right, Ibrahim. Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
very
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you so much.
talking to us and
You're welcome.
sharing your thoughts. Yeah. All right. So, you see, I think that it's a big conversation, but it doesn't have to be complicated. It's very simple. Trees are for our own good. The more trees we have, the better we'll be as a nation. But we need to understand why. And once we understand why, then it becomes something that makes sense to do. Do you see? But I also don't believe that it has to be $1 million project.
Yes.
I don't understand
yes,
that.
yes.
Because
No, probably because of the seedlings that
no,
you're
but you
buying.
see, trees, so there's the seedlings that we produce.
Right.
Right. But there's also seedlings that grow by themselves.
True.
Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of trees sprout their own seedlings. That's how come you get forests.
True.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be a multi-million-dollar project. Otherwise, everything is about the money.
Well, yeah.
You know,
I
we have a
understand
caller
that
from
part.
Kotobabi right here in Accra. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name, please.
I'm Biko.
Biko,
Yeah.
thank you for calling us. What do you think?
I'm really fascinated about the topic that you are discussing this morning. I'm so impressed and so happy. You are doing a good job.
Thank you.
And,
what do you think about the situation we find ourselves in?
Yes, you see, I find that we haven't understood the concept very much. We don't know the business aspect of it even. Apart from the fact that we are fighting climate change, we also don't know the business aspect of tree planting. If you go to Europe, for example, they have what we call the emissions trading system. They have the carbon pricing. They have carbon banking. It's a way of these energy companies. There is the concept of what we call net zero. That the amount of emissions that you generate, you must have an equal amount of oxygen in the atmosphere that will absorb the carbon emissions. So they call it the net zero. Okay, so now what most companies are doing is that when they are generating the emission, others are also planting trees, and they are pricing the amount of oxygen that comes in. They are selling it to these energy companies. And people are making money out of it.
Wow.
We call it the carbon market. Yes. So if our Ministry of Energy, our Lands and Forestry can come together, and then they will look at a way these big energy companies and mining companies that we have that are generating a lot of emissions. We can quantify the emissions that they are generating, and then the net zero concept is in. People are also planting trees and are selling those things to these energy companies. We have the Green Ghana project to be a very successful one. This is a consultancy that I'm giving free on air to Citi TV. But this is what is happening all over in Europe and other advanced countries, and I think we must learn from it.
All right, because thank you very much for calling us. That's a brilliant suggestion. You do what he said. Look, listen, think about it. If let's say we sign contracts with all the energy producers, right, and that emit carbon into the air,
carbon dioxide,
then we say to you that, listen, you, as much carbon dioxide as you produce, you need to replace it with oxygen. How do you do that? Individuals go and plant trees. Then we have a scientific way. Of course, our people know, Legon, other places, University of Natural Resources, they know how to quantify this. Each tree and how much oxygen it produces as an adult tree. Right? So you say that, bring us an adult tree that you have planted, and we will pay you for it. And then every company says, listen, we produce X amount of carbon dioxide, and therefore we need 300 trees that are allocated to our name. So now people are looking to plant trees, nurture them, make sure that they grow so that they can go and get paid.
Right.
Do you see that thing? So there's a business aspect to it.
Okay, so we have Floyd from Pobiman joining us. Hello, Floyd.
Yes, madam. Good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you for discussing this significant issue. I want to contribute.
Sure, you can.
Yes. If I take a look at behind you, there's a vegetation over there.
Yes.
Let's ask ourselves, is it not beautiful?
Yep.
Now, the question at hand is that, so is no one in charge of taking care of the trees and this thing? We've been hearing planting of trees and whatever. So who is really in charge?
Yes.
We are sick and tired of this deception or deceptive distance.
Right. Right. Thank you so much, Floyd. That's how we feel too. Thank you so much, Floyd. Thanks for your contribution.
Thank you.
Okay. That's a very important question. Who's taking care of the ones they have planted?
Who is?
And that's why we can't see the trees, because it's obvious that no one is in charge of that. And I was going to add that earlier on when you talked about the amount, I said probably breaking down their budget, they will say, okay, we are paying so and so group to be in charge, or so and so company or peoples to be in charge of the watering and taking care of them. But obviously, since we can't see them,
But are they?
that's what I'm saying, since we can't see the plants, It's like, probably
Yeah.
goes to work.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, we have to have a better way of maybe tagging trees.
Tagging trees.
You know, and
Yeah, a
say
lot
that,
of people
listen,
tag trees. Yes.
Yeah, you know, tagging trees, finding a way so that ordinary citizens can even go and track by themselves.
Or even help by watering.
You know,
Yeah.
and say, look, every month I'll water 10 trees.
Yes.
You know, and there has to be a way. We cannot continue in this fashion where it's like the thing has been so, we've been given so much so freely that it's like it's dulled our senses and our wisdom. You know, we have a caller from Kumasi. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you? Your name, please.
My name is Mohammed Amin.
Mohammed, welcome to Breakfast Daily. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, for me, I don't think this is necessary at all.
Why?
Yeah, my brother, if you look at the way things is moving in Ghana right now, we are important things than planting the trees.
Okay. Like what?
Look at the school feeding program.
Right.
Being on strike, unable to cook for the children, and yet we are going to use money to plant just a tree, which it will be left by itself to become something else.
Yeah.
For me, this is not very much important or any priority that we should consider right now as Ghana.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know the saying that says that when the last tree dies, the last man dies?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you, I don't know if you know what's happening in places like Libya, Niger, Chad, Mali, and the way the desert is spreading downwards towards Ghana, the Sahara Desert.
Of course.
Yeah. So if we allow our tree cover to be depleted, have you seen I don't know if you've seen what's happening around the Ebri Mountains. People are just scraping off the trees from the Ebri Mountains, and it's changing the nature of the environment there. What do you think we should do? I mean, I understand your concern, as in we have some trees now.
Yes.
People are taking money, government is taking money to go and plant trees. Meanwhile, school children are struggling with the feeding and all of that. What would be your suggestion? What do you think we should do?
You know, there is a saying, protection is better than cure.
Prevention is better than cure.
The little that we have now, if we are able to protect and make it very good now, it will be better than going around. If you look at the trend of tree planting, we've been planting trees every year, millions of trees, but nobody is telling us how this planting is being kept.
Yeah.
So should we keep on planting more and leaving them to their fate? No.
Yeah.
The little that we have, we can protect that one.
Yeah.
So the money that we will use now for another plantation, we can turn it to another thing.
Okay. Yeah.
That is my concern.
Okay. Mohammed, we really appreciate your call. Thank you so much for calling. We really, that's a very good, suggestion that you've given. You see,
that's a very good angle.
What are we protecting? What we've planted?
What we already have.
What we already have, where people are entering haphazardly into forest, even forest reserves. People are entering into forest reserves, and apparently sanctioned, and they have, what do you call it? They have permissions and licenses.
And funny enough, like we're actually entering into the rainy season, and people do not realize that if there are more trees, it actually helps in preventing flooding.
Yeah, but you see,
and even erosion.
But this is what we're talking about here. So trees will help you with mental stress.
Yes.
Okay, trees, just the greenery, it helps with mental stress. Any psychologist, psychiatrist, they'll tell you, trees, in terms of physical health, as in the oxygen we're talking about, breathing in quality air, that trees help with that. Trees help with the physical nature of the terrain.
Right.
So soil erosion, flooding prevention.
Even that's medicine.
So I'm even breaking it down so that we look at the different aspects. Okay, then you're talking about medicine.
Yeah.
In the tree, ecosystem, there's so many. Look, when we go to pharmaceuticals, many of the pharmaceuticals.
Right. Sorry, let me cut you. We have Abel on the line joining us. Hi, Abel.
Yeah. Hi.
Abel, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the North, Kwanda district.
Okay, Kwanga District. You're welcome to the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I find it very, very necessary and important to listen to you this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. The topic on which you are discussing, I feel so bad and good. I think there's mixed feeling right now. Why do I say mixed feeling? We see people deforesting our forests every day. And the same people that we sometimes, when you go deep into it or try to investigate this deeper, you realize that the people who are supposed to be protecting our environment are the people who are desolating it. Then they come back to tell us that let's rebuild it, let's plant trees. And so the little funds that we have, we're now going to invest into replanting the trees. Meanwhile, we have other issues around that could have been solved with these same funds.
Right.
Planting trees is very important. But then, our policy players, our lawmakers are the same who are destroying our environment.
Right.
So I say it's a mixed feeling right now. I get confused.
Right.
Yeah. So I have look, I think our media, you are doing very well, but the people who give you the opportunity, who give you the platform to actually make things right are the people who are giving you more confusion and putting the whole country into a mess.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your submission. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So there are so many important aspects
of it.
of having trees in our environment. So many of them, all right? And so please, let's be rational about this. Let's be deliberate about this. Government, why is it that you earmarked money for us to do tree planting projects, and yet people that provided seedings have not been paid?
Right.
Where is that money? Who chopped that money? How come that we are owing people that provided seedlings? And now we are hearing that the people that provided seedlings from a year ago and 2 years ago have been sidelined, which is not a problem, but in debt, they've been sidelined, and now we're going for a new set of people. What's that about? Well, that has been the conversation for today. Viewers, you be the judges, all right? And I hope the government does the right thing.